Like and subscribe to support the channel. Donations welcome.
The transition from unemployment benefits to workplace safety and workers' compensation marks a shift from the safety net provided after job loss to the protections afforded during employment. While unemployment benefits address the financial fallout of joblessness, workers' compensation focuses on safeguarding employees' well-being and financial security when injuries or illnesses occur on the job. This system, governed by state laws but guided by underlying federal principles, is a cornerstone of employment law, aiming to balance the interests of employers and employees in maintaining a safe working environment and providing fair compensation for work-related injuries and illnesses. The Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1970, OSH Act, serves as the bedrock of federal workplace safety regulations. This landmark legislation established the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, tasked with setting and enforcing safety and health standards across most private sector workplaces. OSHA's broad mandate encompasses a wide range of industries and professions, aiming to protect workers from hazards that could lead to injuries, illnesses, or fatalities. The Act places a general duty on employers to furnish their employees with a workplace free from recognized hazards that could cause death or serious physical harm. This general duty clause is broad and encompassing, reflecting the legislature's intention to comprehensively safeguard worker well-being. OSHA achieves this through specific standards addressing various hazards, including those related to chemicals, machinery, electricity, and fire prevention. These standards are regularly updated to reflect advancements in safety technology and knowledge, and they are enforced through inspections, investigations, and citations for noncompliance. The penalties for noncompliance can be significant, ranging from fines to criminal prosecution in cases of egregious violations leading to worker deaths. Beyond the federal OSH Act, states also play a crucial role in regulating workplace safety. Many states have their own occupational safety and health agencies that complement and, in some cases, extend the federal standards. These state-level agencies may address specific issues relevant to their local industries or workforce composition. The interplay between federal and state regulations can be complex, with some states adopting stricter standards than those set by OSHA. This dual regulatory framework reinforces the importance of employers staying informed about both federal and state regulations applicable to their operations. Ignoring these rules can lead to substantial fines, potential legal action from workers, and reputational damage to a company. Workers' compensation insurance programs are designed to provide medical benefits and wage replacement for employees injured or made ill on the job. The system generally operates under a no-fault principle, meaning employees can receive benefits regardless of whether they or their employers were at fault for the injury. This is a critical distinction, eliminating the need for lengthy and expensive lawsuits to determine liability. Instead, the focus is on providing timely and appropriate medical care and financial support to injured workers. The specific benefits available under workers' compensation vary by state, but they generally include medical care, temporary disability benefits, and potentially permanent disability benefits, depending on the severity and nature of the injury or illness. Death benefits are also often included for the survivors of workers who die as a result of a work-related incident. Filing a workers' compensation claim typically involves reporting the injury or illness to the employer promptly and seeking medical attention from a physician or healthcare provider approved by the workers' compensation insurance carrier. The employer is then responsible for filing a report with the state workers' compensation agency. The claim process requires detailed documentation of the injury or illness, including the date, time, location, and circumstances of the incident. Medical records, witness statements, and photographs are all important forms of documentation. These are used to establish the connection between the injury or illness and the worker's employment. The insurance carrier will then review the claim and determine the eligibility for benefits. The process might involve a medical examination by a physician of their choosing and ultimately a determination of whether the injury or illness is compensable under the state's workers' compensation laws. Disputes can arise between employees and insurance carriers regarding the extent of the injury or illness or the appropriate level of benefits. If the claim is denied or the benefits are deemed insufficient, the worker has the right to appeal the decision within the established time frame laid out by the state's workers' compensation system. The appeals process often involves administrative hearings or judicial review, depending on the state's legal framework. Representation by an attorney experienced in workers' compensation law can be crucial in navigating the complexities of the appeals process and advocating for the employee's rights. Consider the case of a construction worker who falls from a scaffold, sustaining a severe back injury. The worker immediately reports the incident to their supervisor and seeks medical treatment. The employer files the necessary paperwork with the state's workers' compensation agency. The insurance carrier reviews the claim, considering the medical reports and the worker's account of the incident. They approve the claim and authorize the necessary medical care and temporary disability benefits. However, after a few months, the worker's condition does not improve, and they require further treatment and possibly permanent disability benefits. A dispute arises between the worker and the insurance carrier regarding the extent of their disability and the level of ongoing benefits. The worker, with the assistance of legal counsel, may need to appeal the decision through the state's workers' compensation appeals process to secure the appropriate compensation for their long-term needs. Another scenario could involve a nurse who contracts a contagious disease while treating a patient. This situation highlights the risks inherent in certain professions. Here, proving the connection between the illness and the employment might require careful documentation of the patient's condition, the nurse's exposure, and the subsequent development of the illness. The insurance carrier might challenge the causal link, leading to a complex claim process. Again, legal expertise becomes invaluable in documenting the case and ensuring the nurse receives the necessary compensation. The complexities inherent in workers' compensation cases, coupled with the often significant financial implications, highlight the importance of understanding the legal procedures and potential pitfalls. Workers should be aware of their rights and responsibilities under the law. Employers, too, need to ensure compliance with all applicable safety regulations and promptly report all workplace injuries and illnesses to minimize potential disputes and ensure a safe and compliant workplace. Proactive safety measures, comprehensive training programs, and a strong commitment to worker safety are critical in preventing workplace accidents and mitigating potential liability. The interaction of the OSH Act, state-specific safety regulations, and workers' compensation frameworks emphasizes the collaborative efforts necessary to protect employee well-being and uphold the principles of fair compensation in the context of workplace accidents and illnesses. Consistent and careful attention to these processes is vital for both employers and employees.
Like and subscribe for more content.